it's not just you being motivated by what you hear or what you feel you need to prove. It's also being smart, and it's also study. Your colleague on the line, and Austin Blythe, might have given up a little bit of a ghost here or not. I don't know. But did you know what the Cowboys defensive line was doing stunting-wise based on a tell that you picked up on film?
I would say every week, really, you come in with a plan for the team you're playing and really what you see them do. And I don't think that's really, something just telling about the Cowboys in the sense of that. I think what he kind of means is like what we'd study with them and the different looks and where people were in the formations and those kind of things that, there's certain things that you game plan to be able to do. And sometimes as linemen, especially, we can get a feel for guys depending on how they play normally, whether they, do different things in throughout the, course of a game. And you're like, oh, you know what? I kind of can feel this out of his stance, or I can feel this out of how he's lining up on me, that this is what he wants to do. I mean, that's just kind of a in the game, I guess probably something most people don't think about because that's kind of an in-line play type thing. I mean, it happens throughout games.
Sure. I mean, when you're taking on a stunting team like the Dallas Cowboys, it would be helpful to know where the stunt's coming from or when it might be attempted. And, Blythe was saying that based on where Malik Collins was lining up and where the rest of the defensive linemen were putting which hand they were putting in the dirt, 90% of the time you could tell what was coming.
I think sometimes the interior guys can get a feel of that. I out on the edge, I just have to, worry about them running around the corner most of the time. So I'm a little more worried about how their get off and those kind of things. But, yeah, I mean, there might have been some tells that he had there, but I think that's something more, of who you're playing exactly in the film study you do. And, just good job by him having kind of a feel for the guy he's playing.
What has C.J. Anderson brought to the equation here?
Oh, man, I mean, just a physicality that has been special. I mean, you felt in these last few weeks. I mean, it's man, to believe that guy's was at home and not on a team is just unbelievable.
He said he told Dan Patrick earlier today he thought the season was over when the Raiders cut him, and that it was over, that he thought that he wasn't going to play football at all. And now he's playing some serious, meaningful snaps for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations, that's 2 wins away from actually lifting that trophy. I mean, he and Gurley are a 1-2 punch that I think you guys had not had previously, with all due respect to the rest of the roster. Would you agree with that assessment?
I mean, the way he's played, there's no doubt about it. I mean, those two guys, the match they are of his physicality with the football in his hand and Todd's speed and agility and just the nature of what a great player he is. I mean, when you add those 1-2 punches, people are tired and have to chase Todd, or they're tired and got to tackle him and get him on the ground. I think that they right now are playing very well off each other and give us something that we haven't had throughout the season.
What's the challenge with the Saints here for you?
Well, I think obviously those guys, that they're tremendous on offense and they do a really good job defensively the last half of the season. And, I think both of us are a little different teams than probably we were when we played in Week 9. And I think the opportunity for us to go out, execute offensively and be able to run the football is going to be important. But you know what? Also, just as a team, I mean, this is one of those games that you got to expect you're going to get the best of each other. So, it's really not going to be about, hey, we got to go perform. It's going to be, we got to play at our best till the final tick. These championship games always come down to just something at the end. And so it's really going to be about not only trying to perform your best, being prepared, but realizing you're going to have to do it for 60 straight minutes.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.